right, so we're here with Shivam. Yeah.
Whoa!
Big Shiv. Shiv's been on the podcast before. We had an episode with him because he had owned a hostel here. Check it out. I forget what episode. What do you remember the number? I don't remember the number of the episode.
One of the first 15, I think.
Yeah, one of the first 15 episodes. He gave us a lot of insight on how to own, owning a hostel here and being a foreigner and doing business in Colombia.
And so if you want to check it out right here. Yeah. We're not into that today, so you can check out his episode.
What are they checking out? Oh, the episode.
Full episode.
Full episode with Shiv. So yeah, that was insightful. So in this segment, we're just going to ask you a question. Talk about it for 10 minutes.
All right, cool.
Joel?
So basically, Andrew and I have like one or two little Airbnbs that we rent out. And I was sitting there, and there's these two guys from none other than London. Dirty fucking Londoners or clean Londoners. And they come up, and they're like, yeah, man, this place is so beautiful, blah, 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 blah. Where do we go out to find... We want to go out to clubs that are like, and they start calling these crazy names like high-class clubs where we can go. Of course, we're single guys. We want to meet women. We want to blah, blah, blah. Where can we go? And I was like so shocked. I'm like, all right, just go to Mamacita. It's like, around the block. And they're like, yep, that doesn't sound good. So I could see in their eyes that they didn't trust what I was saying. So we called up. I called up. I'm like, oh, my God, I only know one person that speaks your language, the Queen's language, right? So I picked up the phone, and I'm like, who speaks the Queen language? Boop. I called up Shiv. I'm like, Shiv, please help me. Help me. And he smiled, and he's like, I'll help you. So our question to Shiv is, there's a group of, we're going to go with Londoners first, like people from the UK. We're going to go with, Canadians, Americans, whatever. They're coming here. Two single guys coming here, and they want to go out. They want to have fun. They're here to have fun. What should they do? Where should they go? And so introduce yourself in like less than 30 words and then tell them where they should go.
Okay, my name's Shiv. I've been here for nearly 5 years. Like these guys said, I used to have a hostel, but I sold that last year. And now I'm in real estate slash construction. And that started last year. In terms of your question, so I spoke to these guys that you're referring to, and I probably would have said the same to what I said to them to any foreign visitor. I think, first of all, you have to probably, at least the first few weeks, stick to Poblado, right? Okay. There are definitely other places you can go to, but I wouldn't recommend branching out straight away as soon as you get out to the other places, because this is where everything's at, to be honest. I think it's also important to kind of balance when you speak to people about safety. I know we've touched on this before. Not scare them to death, but also give them an idea that, it's not, you hear something like those guys last week, like, I want to party like it's Vegas, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not going to happen here. You can definitely party hard and you can definitely have a good time, but you have to be careful. So that was one thing I kind of stressed, but just barely touched the surface with them, because I didn't know them. I just spoke to them on the phone. Well, Poblado is, I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's much busier than pre-pandemic, right? Yeah. There's so much stuff going on. You have to get to a club, 9 p.m. these days? Right. So on a Friday and Saturday, so everywhere's busy. So, I recommended them a few places, but also there's, I would say, 3 or 4 streets of places to go in Provenza: bars, clubs, cafes, nice restaurants, mid-end restaurants. There's also Parquilleras. I personally didn't recommend it to them. I also probably wouldn't recommend it that much to foreigners these days.
Why? Because Parquilleras, for those of you that don't know, was like the place to go for many years. It was a place to, it was like the tourist destination for partying, for clubs.
We pre-partied there. We pre- and post-partied there.
I remember some of the best times.
By the
we
statue.
Would never even make it to the club. We would literally sit in Parquilleras, buy a bottle from the corner store, and hang out and meet new friends, drink, and it was like a catwalk with women just walking by, and you're like talking to people. Everything was so cool, This was like what, like 6 years ago at least?
Yeah. About
6
5
years ago at
six
least.
least.
And that's when it died down.
Even less as well. Even when I got here, I've been here for less than 5 years. Even I used to go out there. I think it's been 3 or 4 years.
By
But
the statue, there's a statue of like a naked woman with a penis. I don't know what is that.
No,
thing?
it's not a naked. That's a man.
It's a man. Okay, I don't know. I thought it was like, wow,
Naked
that's a
woman
fucking
with a
amazing
penis.
woman with a penis.
It's a man playing the flute, but yeah, it's a naked man.
It's a man playing the flute. Hey,
Yeah.
we should just start a whole podcast about what that thing is.
Yeah, but anyway, Shiv, you were saying that you don't recommend people to going there nowadays. Why is that?
it's changed a lot. Because now there's 3 reasons to be wary of it. There's hookers there that don't even wait for sunset. They're there from 3-4 p.m. and there's loads of them. There's also a lot of drug dealers there, and there's also a lot of kind of combos, that gangs that work together. I think definitely a couple of people here have had an experience where they take your phone, and then there's a few other people around there, and within 10 seconds you don't know where it's gone. The person next to you doesn't have it. So you have to be careful. That can happen maybe there or on Calle 10, which is just next to Parquillera. So you can still go there. There's still some nice places, but you have to be very, very careful there.
Unless if you're into hookers. I mean,
yeah, if you're into hookers, but there's...
Have you seen the hooker bus?
Yeah.
The what?
I was just making it up, but he saw it.
No, I thought you meant the Chiva bus.
Well, the hooker bus.
He's like, yeah.
Yo, wait.
Really?
Hey, put it things in real perspective. Like about 6 years ago, when we went to the penis woman statue in Parquilleras, and we were chilling there drinking beers off of the penis, whatever we were doing. Were you doing that? I was just checking. Anyways, but whatever. When we were chilling there in Parquilleras, we're just chilling out, hanging there. I was the only black guy.
No, remember Miami, what's his name?
Yeah, but he was half black.
Yeah,
That
he
didn't
was
really
half black.
count. But I was, like literally, I was the only black guy. Shiv, definitely the only, let's call it brown guy. And Teddy Jew, if you guys watch his episode, if you didn't watch it,
shout out to the Indians.
We would have been the only ones. Now it's just all sorts of tourists. So people are there, I think, like making the buck. They know what to spot, and they're like, oh, we're gonna. And so there's entire teams of people. Trust me on this. It's not a scare tactic. We've watched it. There's teams of people that stay around Parquilleras in particular, and when they pickpocket you, you won't even know where your wallet's gone.
Yeah, they usually wait for people coming out of the club drunk. Usually prey on like women with their purses. Shove them, and then somebody else pickpockets them. It's happened to our friends just coming down, like literally when we're with them, where a phone was stolen. Remember when we came down?
And by your friends, they mean me. I got pickpocketed.
Yeah, he got pickpocketed.
I got pickpocketed.
And there's a whole street now with just trannies, and they're aggressive, like tranny hookers. Yeah. They are. They're like. I remember I was walking with Gio one day, and one just lunged at him. I've never seen him move that quick.
And what did they do?
He ran across the street. No, she lunged to grab his crotch.
And what did he do?
He ran. He ran. I laughed. He ran.
Gio ran from a tranny hooker.
Yeah, but I think that's their tactic. Like they go like this, and then there's somebody else like trying to pickpocket.
You have to be on. You have to be on edge.
Yeah.
But even with Parquilleros, I'd even say that even if you forget about some of the stuff I said before, if you come to Medellin, do you really want to be surrounded by no Colombians, which is Parquilleras is full of foreigners? Even though Poblado gets a bad rep for being full of foreigners, it's not. But Parquilleras is. And also, good Colombians who want to go out have a good time, they probably won't go there either. So the type of people you're going to meet is probably not the best type of people either.
Are you saying that's what you like? You like to be around Colombians and blah, blah, blah?
I personally would prefer to be in a bar or club where it's predominantly common.
So tell people where those bars are, man. Why are you
So yeah, that's what I was saying before. So Provenza, there's 3 or 4 streets there. I know things have... Poblado's expanded a little bit. Where we are now, where we're probably going later as well, is around Manila, Parque Poblado.
Can you give specific names?
Mamacita. What's the street that David lives on?
That's a Parque Poblado.
Parque Poblado.
But you don't know the names of clubs and stuff. Where should people check
for
out?
clubs, I would say my favorite ones here are Teatro, which is in Provenza.
Why is that?
They have 2 different floors. One is kind of like, one's a mix, I think, and one is just pure reggaeton, which is what I like. I like La Chula as well. That's in Las Palmas. Bit more high end. That kind of club wouldn't be out of place in Manhattan, New York. It's so nice.
La Chula.
Yeah, La Chula.
Big up to La Chula.
Fonda La Chisomosa has a bunker.
That one's in Las Palmas also, right?
That's next door, yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of clubs closed down in pandemic, but most of them have reopened, maybe under a different name. There's also Vintrash, which is near to Perro Negro. There's a street in Provenza. It's 35 and 7. I think you guys might know better than me, right? There's probably how many clubs there? 6, 7?
Yeah, 6
and
or
they're all
7,
within 2 minutes walking distance.
Yeah.
I think for a first timer, start there.
What is it that you like about these clubs, by the way, Shiv? What is it that you like for the first time or for the second time, for the third start? What is it that you like? What's great about these clubs?
The type of people, the proximity to everywhere else. So you can, if you don't like somewhere, you can go somewhere else, or you can go drinking beforehand. Everything's walking distance. The music, that's a personal choice, but I think most of my friends are pretty much on a similar vibe in terms of music. But if you did want salsa, you'd probably only have to walk 10 minutes. If you did want electronic music or house music, you could walk 10 minutes. Another club I forgot is Bolivar.
Bolivar is now like a techno club, right? Like,
But where they moved to.
right.
All right, well, sorry, man. Your time's done. Get
Yeah, nobody cares about techno. Hey, thank you, Shiv. Hey, give a round of applause for Shiv.
Thanks, guys, for having me on.